Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning volatility report. It is I, Andrew Giovinazzi,
Muted. Unmuted.
filling in for Mark Sebastian. How are you all doing today? Is the VIX about to flush? Well, the jobs report was okay. I think people were actually looking for, I think market participants wanted a good jobs number. I think they wanted growth. VIX cash wise has been, let's just call, right, yeah, it was not great, right? So, you're sitting here at close to all-time highs. You have a sluggish economy. Um, you have had some issues. We've had a lot of talk about Europe, but the vol futures really. I mean, you're looking at the October 19th future at $15 yesterday. Um, where those are really they are looking at things that aren't necessarily happening yet. Okay, um, we're not. It's certainly pricing, right? Even if you're still pricing $1.50 over. The futures are rising. It's the first hour of the day, which generally I normally discount as far as any real moves go. But you have a real the VIX is starting to pick up as we start getting closer to the election. Um, I think it looks like the race is kind of close. I don't care what side of the fence you really sit on, but that is a little uncertainty, and the vol picks up a little uncertainty. But we're not getting enough movement really to bid the VIX up. So as of right now, if you look at the term structure, right, and we go to the election, the volatility on that is 11 and a half. It's just not that much. So anything we're looking at now is, I think ultimately, is there some, we need some good economic news. Gold's making a little bit of a rally because we might not get that rate rise, as small as it is. I think we just need a little bit more good news for broad market rally. Besides oil holding us up, obviously the financials are backing off just a little bit. As the rate picture, okay, maybe they throw a little, it gets a little muddier. Um, not seeing a lot of great reasons to rally. More QE is the way I feel like it's setting up is not a reason for us to rally. It's time to move past it. It's time to move past the financial crisis and deal with what we have, which is right now the G7 governments is holding a lot of issuing a lot of very low interest rate paper, and at some point that's got to change. So I don't know when that starts or how that shakes out of the market, how that affects equities. But we need that unwind to slowly start to happen. And to be honest, I don't know how that's going to shake out. For our vol trading today, the VIX futures are pricing things into next week that are not clear. There's no economic calendar. So maybe they're just going to stay there till the very last minute. Don't know. As far as trading goes, I think we're going to just see listless trading. So you put that in your head, listless trading and low vol to me. Put time spreads, things like that. We'll look at that in our chat room today. There is still the potential for a 13 settle next week for VIX. Right now that looks likely, but the futures really, they're not pricing that. And to be honest, I don't really know why they are where they are. But as long as there's a bid for them, that's where they are. So as we move forward, what we're looking for is, I'm not expecting right? I'm expecting those vol futures to come in at some point, but the cash VIX not necessarily getting too much lower, maybe 12 and three quarters, because again, without a big reason to rally, there's no vol on the upside. Nobody's really panicking to get out on the downside, and that's where we sit, which is, a listless market. It's a time spread market. Not really a big reason to go in and sell a bunch of vol. And with that, I think that's our pit report, our vol report for today. I expect VIX futures to be lower at the end of the day than they are right now. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but if we end the day like this, it's hard for me to believe how they're going to hold up. The only thing is any kind of weirdness coming out of Europe, which is not. You're seeing a lot of strange things out of the IMF, maybe trying to goad the Germans into talking Deutsche Bank up or more, or something like that. I think if anything, that's the lingering problem that really hasn't been solved. From a vol point of view, volatility likes more certainty. When they have a little uncertainty, there's going to be a bit to the futures. And I think if ultimately that's where it is, because at least the picture here is pretty much unchanged from 2-3 weeks ago. Same thing. So not much is changing here. So there's not a huge reason for domestic vol. Any vol really is coming from Europe, and for about the last 4 or 5 years, that has been the source of volatility. It really hasn't been anything here since 2011, to be honest. All right, you all. I will see you in the chat room in a little while, in about 15 minutes. Bye-bye.